Welcome to the 2023 FM Walleyes Unlimited Classic Cup Tournament Series. My name is Rick Mohan, and I will be your tournament director. I want to begin by recognizing the 2023 Classic Cup Tournament sponsors. And I have a screen that I want to share with you that would show you those fine folks. So please recognize our 2023 Classic Cup Tournament sponsors. They include Shields, as well as Lund Boats, J&K Marine, TRS Industries, who make wonderful boat tarps, Kovash Marine, Moorhead Marine, Warrior Boats, Onyx, Eskimo Ice Fishing Gear, Striker Brands, Chuck's Custom Rods, and Vision Bank. So folks, please remember these fine businesses who've supported our tournament, and support them as well as you do your business. So this is the online rules meeting for the Pelican Spring Shootout that will be held on Sunday, June 4th. At least one team member should view the video by 5 p.m. on Saturday, June 3rd. Please note the complete set of tournament rules can be found on our website, fmwalleyes.com, in the tournament section. I will not cover all the rules on this video. It is incumbent upon the tournament anglers to know the rules and follow them. So tournament anglers, we've had a long tradition of remembering and recognizing old friends and tournament competitors who are no longer with us. I would like to continue that tradition with a short invocation. Gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for the many blessings that you have provided us. We thank you for your amazing creation and the opportunity to pursue our fishing passions. We also thank you for the opportunity to conduct the 2023 Pelican Spring Shootout Walleye Tournament. We ask for your continued protection of the anglers and event staff. Please keep us safe as we travel and are out on the water. I take this time in a moment of silence to remember our old tournament friends and anglers whom you have called home to be with you. Amen. So starting off then just with some general comments. The new for 2023 is you'll see that all of our events are now a one-day shootout format. The Board of FM Walleyes Unlimited considered a number of changes with the idea of increasing teams participating. We continue to look at ways to improve the Classic Cup Walleye Series. With that in mind, we will be conducting a survey of tournament anglers in July after the Big Pine Summer Shootout. So when you see that email, please take the time to respond to our survey. We really want to know your thoughts and how we can make the Classic Cup Series better for you. The tournament HQ, again, for this year, was going to be at the U Motors lot just west of Zorba's, the Cormorant Village. I want to recognize U Motors for allowing us to use their parking lot. Coast Guard approved flotation devices must be worn when the boat is under power, that is on plane. Also, I want to remind anglers to check for aquatic invasive species when launching and loading your boats. There's a real possibility there would be local staff inspectors that are going to be looking at boats when you're launching and loading. Please cooperate with them and follow their instructions. No alcohol is allowed in your boat during tournament hours. Live and or artificial bait are permitted. Anglers must have a valid Minnesota fishing license, and anglers must follow all Minnesota fishing regulations. There is a 20-yard spacing between competitor boats, and at no time may a competitor boat come alongside another competitor boat during tournament hours. So guys, we're not able to be everywhere to enforce this rule, but if you feel that someone is coming up too close to you or another competitor is too close, just respectfully ask them to move away. Tournament patrol boats, sheriff patrol boats, DNR boats are permitted to come alongside a competitor boat. So cell phone or radio use among competitors is not permitted. We've allowed anglers to bring along their cell phones for emergency use. We do reserve the right to inspect all cell phone logs of competitors while on the water. So anglers are permitted to call the tournament director with questions or to request assistance. No fish are permitted in your live wells or boat. excluding when you're taking the photograph on the official ruler. Please inform tournament staff if you see a floater or a dead fish. We'll send out a boat. We'll send a boat out to recover that fish. Again, the official ruler for the Classic Cup events is a Judge brand ruler. This brand of ruler must be used. Rulers are available for purchase from FM Walleyes at the dock that Sunday morning. We have an inventory available there. Their cost is $40. You also then must use a camera that accepts an SD card. Our tournament permit only allows us to occupy 50% of the parking spaces at the boat ramp, so please utilize the overflow parking at the U-Motors lot next to Zorba's as necessary. So just in terms of the general schedule, I'll go through that. Boat inspections will begin at 6 a.m. at both the east and the west ramps on Pelican Lake. DNR does require that live wells be empty before launching. So please abide by that. We'll have our tournament inspectors at the ramps at 6, and they'll be going through and checking compartments and all that. Please wait for them to do that before you would add your live bait into the boat. If by chance you're staying on Pelican Lake and your boat's on the dock, just come on over to the main the dock there, the U-Motors dock, and we can do an inspection there right on the water. Boat inspection begins at 6. I mentioned the DNR requires live wells be empty before launching. So flight times, so you're going to pick up the scorecard / SD card packet. I'm going to review what's in that packet here shortly. Those will be available starting at 6 a.m. as well. The first flight of boats will be released at 7, and the second flight at 7:30. The first flight then must be back in at 3, and then the second flight by 3:30. Boats are considered in if they are off plane and within 300 yards view of the U-Motors dock at the designated time. So if you're coming in and you want to take a minute to check your photos, check your card, if you're off plane, we can see you, within 300 yards, you're in. So you've got time to sort yourself out there if you need it. Boats start and finish the day at the U-Motors dock facility next to Zorba's on Pelican Lake. And again, the remote parking at U-Motors parking area west of Zorba's. So let's take a minute then and review the packet. When you come over to the dock, you're going to receive a packet. It's an envelope with a team number on that. So this is the number the team that you would use to help you guys get organized into your release order for the day. Inside that packet is a sheet that has some basic information about the launch times. It has my contact number. It just, it has some basic information there, my number if you need it during the day. And then also in the packet, you'll have a Ziploc bag that'll contain 4 items. It'll have the scorecard. It'll look like this. This is where you're going to record your fish, and you're going to X the 6 fish that you want to count. If there's less than 6 fish on there, that's pretty basic. But if the card's pretty full, you need to tell us which ones you're going to count. That's not our call. It's your call. We also would like for you to indicate if it's a large fish, who caught it, because we do recognize big fish 1, 2, and 3. And it's certainly easier for us if we know up front and not have to call around to find out who caught the fish. There's a pen to mark the card. There is a SD card. It has a number on it that corresponds with your team. It's been formatted. It's blank. This is how we assure then that this is, that they're legitimate photographs of the day. We do have a few micro SD cards. We've run into that where we could make that available. It would be a lot easier for us guys if you can use, if your camera does accept an SD card. And then of course there's a ribbon. This ribbon is going to be the ribbon of the color of the day, and it won't be this color on June 4th. The boat inspectors will be tying a ribbon onto your boat, indicating you've been inspected. This ribbon is going to be the same. It'll be matching color, and you're to tie that on your judge ruler. Tie it on the judge ruler so we know that the pictures are from June 4th, that day. And again, this is an example of the judge ruler. This is mine. It's old. It's a little dirty, but we have that inventory, as I mentioned. There is a newer style, but they're both considered official and are acceptable for the purposes of this tournament. So I would like to take a minute then to kind of review how we do scoring on our catch photo release formats. So all fish measured must be 15 inches. So the fish head must contact the bump angle, as I mentioned, and when you're measuring, you want the fish head to touch up here. Of the judge ruler, you're allowed to round up to the next 1/4 inch mark of the index line the fish touches. So the smallest fish that can be recorded is 15 1/4. It hits the 15-inch line, that's an official, you can record it, and we round up to 15 1/4. So fish length is determined by taking a photograph of the fish on the judge tournament ruler. So what we're looking for is a photograph of the left side of the fish. So one of the ways to do that pretty easily is that if you have the fish's head against the bump board on your left side, now you know you're taking a picture of the left side of the fish. People want to stand on different places. I get that. So if it's the left side of the fish, we're fine. I also want to point out that fingers placed inside the gills or the mouth while taking the photograph will result in that fish being DQ'd. So please take care in taking your photos. You can take as many photos as you need to that you feel comfortable of getting a good one. Please take a hero shot between fish so that we can differentiate between the fish as they're caught. Too much sun, too much direct sun can wash out photos so that the ruler lines cannot be seen. That sometimes has been a challenge for us guys, and we work hard to be able to score a fish. But if we cannot verify the fish length from the photo, that fish is DQ'd. And there are, and this is a skill, taking photographs, because some of you anglers are extremely good at this. You orient yourself where you're throwing a shadow over the entire fish, and then you get a really nice clean shot. And I mean, it is a skill. So please take care in doing and taking photographs. I'm going to take a minute here to share a screen of to show you some photographs of what would look good and what doesn't. I had tried to get this to, oh, there we go. So this is an example of a good photograph. Again, you see the fish head to the left up against the bump board. We can see the entire fish and we can read the index lines very clearly. This would be an example of a poor photo where we see the ruler is washed out from the sunlight. This would be another example of a poor photo in that we can't see the head touching the bump board. So this is something to avoid that would result in that fish not being scored. And then also this one, again, we would prefer the orientation, but we are seeing the left side of the fish. But you can see that the index lines are all washed out, and we can't see them. So well, I mentioned earlier that hands are not allowed in the mouth or the gill. So you can see here an example where hands are inside the gill of the fish. This would result in that fish being DQ'd. Similarly, you see the hands in the mouth on this fish, and that would result in a disqualification. So those are some examples of good and poor photos that we've seen in the past. So in any event, at this point, I want to take a minute and just introduce a short video segment that describes how we conduct catch, record, release format tournaments. This video was shot for one of our youth angler tournaments, so that language is not as as precise in terms of the event, but it certainly does capture how we want to run our catch, record, release tournaments. So please enjoy that.
Kyle Avery and Brenton Hall here of FM Walleyes. We are your Little Pine and Devil's Lake Young Angler Tournament Directors. We want to talk a little bit today about the catch, record, release format. Brenton, let's just talk a little bit about leading up to the tournament and the day of the tournament, how we are prepared for that.
So what you're going to want to bring with you on the day of the tournament is your red judge ruler. That is the ruler that we do use as the official ruler for our AYA events. Bring your judge ruler. We do have some available for you to borrow or rent during the events, and we have some available for purchase as well. Also, you're going to want to prepare for the event by having a camera that will put the pictures onto a standard size SD card, not a micro card, but we need that a camera that will put the pictures onto a standard card. From there, the morning of the tournament, we're going to deliver a bag to you at the launch, and that bag is going to have your SD card for that day. It's going to have your scorecard and a colored ribbon. Now you're going to need that colored ribbon to be in your picture, which Kyle's going to talk about in a minute, and you're going to use that SD card to record your pictures during that tournament day. And if you do want to do some practicing with our SD cards the night before at the rules meeting, we're going to have those available, Kyle, so that you can bring your cameras out, make sure they work on the cards, and plan and prepare for the next day.
Yep, we want to be prepared the morning of the tournament. Once we get out on the water, hopefully we see our anglers catching a lot of fish, and that's what we want to do. The intention of this tournament and this tournament format is to get the fish landed and in the boat, to get them measured, recorded, and released as quickly as possible. So the process is going to look like this. That walleye will first be taken out of the net and unhooked. We're going to lay that out on the judge ruler. We want a photo of one of the team members holding that fish on the judge ruler. Now it's important that we can see the nose of that fish touching the bump on the bottom end of the ruler, and then also where we can see the tail in terms of getting an accurate measurement and verifying that measurement. You can take as many photos as you would like. Once you get one you're satisfied with, then what we're going to do is we're going to take a hero shot. That indicates to us as tournament directors that we have the end of one fish and we can look for a new fish after that. A hero shot is simply a shot with one of the team members, preferably one who caught the fish, holding that fish. Once we get the hero shot, we immediately release that fish into the water, and hopefully that process is done as quickly as we possibly can. Once the fish is released, then we go into our scorecard, and we're going to write down the score, meaning the length of that fish, remembering that if the length touches a line, let's say it's 16-inch walleye, it touches a 16-inch line, we're going to record 1/4 inch above. So if it touches 16 inches, we're going to record that fish as 16 1/4. And we record it on our card at that point in time, and then we can go resume fishing.
At the end of the day, you're going to have hopefully a full scorecard, Kyle, of all the fish that you had enjoyed catching during the day. We need you to circle the amount of fish that we're weighing for that tournament. We need you to circle the ones you want us to weigh to factor into your weight for the day, and we need you to make sure that the angler's name who caught those fish is next to that measurement, because remember, we do give out a special prize to the largest fish caught by a boy and the largest fish caught by a girl at our tournament. So we want to make sure that we know who to celebrate with those big catches for the day. And of course, if our adult angler catches one of the fish that we're going to weigh for that day, we still want that name on there too, so that we can use it for our results verification.
It's a fun way to do a tournament. It lets us to score all of the big fish we catch during the day, really in avoiding our slot limitations if we were to bring the fish into the boat and bring them up to a scale. It's important to remember, Brenton, one of the things we want to make sure our teams are aware of is that at no time are we allowed to put a walleye into a live well, into our boat. Our live wells need to be clean the entire day while we're out on the water. And as you are demonstrating, all of our participants need to be wearing their life preservers while they're out on the water participating in the AYA tournament. We wish everybody the best of luck. Look forward to seeing you there at the next AYA event.
Well, folks, again, we're going to call this a wrap. That's all we have for now. Please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. As previously stated, we'll be using the EU Motors lot west of Zorbas as our tournament HQ. The event trailer will be there, and I certainly look forward to seeing everyone on Sunday, June 4th. Take care.